Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over both the DraftKings and Yahoo NBA slate for Monday, January the 7th. We got 8 games today. I'm going to go through each position on DraftKings, talk about some of the guys I like. If there's guys I want to touch on Yahoo, I will be sure to do that as well. Of course, I'll give my core 5 plays, 5 guys I expect to have a lot of exposure to on both sites. The core plays might differ from each site, so make sure you're tuning in for DraftKings and Yahoo if you do play on both. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. We're going to go ahead and start off at point guard. So at the top here we got James Harden leading the slate in price at $12K on DraftKings. Also tied with Anthony Davis on Yahoo for most expensive player. Both AD and Harden are $58 on Yahoo. And I really like Harden a lot today. Even though he's expensive, I think there are some cheap plays I like that allow me to fit him in. Just hard to avoid Harden right now, even at this expensive price. I'm going to have a lot of exposure to him on both sides. If we just pull up the game log for James Harden lately, the dude's been playing a ton of minutes as of late. We're getting nearly 40 minutes out of James Harden these last few games. Obviously, without Chris Paul, the usage rate is sky high. We're getting Harden with the nearly 40% usage rate, or I believe it's over 40%. He's playing a ton of minutes, like I said, in competitive games, taking a ton of shots. He's going to obviously get some rebounds. He's going to be able to get a ton of assists without Chris Paul on the court. In this matchup with Denver, I expect to be close right now. Houston's actually favored by 1. Not the highest total at 215, but in a competitive game, I expect Harden to play a ton of minutes. Even though it's not the best matchup, Harden's going to be guarded by Gary Harris, most likely, who is a really good defender. Still a spot where Harden's usage, his volume's just so high, it's really hard to avoid him. So I like him a lot on both sides. Definitely going to be a guy I play in a ton of lineups. If you don't want to pay up for Harden at point guard, there aren't really a lot of guys on DraftKings I like to go to. Damian Lillard I want to talk about on Yahoo. He's only $37 over here. I think Damian Lillard on Yahoo a really good play at his price tag. On DraftKings, though, at $9K, probably a guy I can avoid. Mike Conley, also want to talk about him on Yahoo. I don't mind him on DraftKings at $7,500. Not a core play, but over on Yahoo, where Mike Conley is only $27, I like him a lot over here. I feel like he's going to be in a lot of my Yahoo lineups. I'll have 10 lineups in the big 100K baller. I'm sure I'm going to have Conley in at least 2 or 3, if not more than that. Probably about 3 or 4. I just really like the spot for Conley. He's facing the Pelicans team that does struggle defensively as a unit. Even though Conley will probably see some Drew Holiday defense here, still a spot where Conley can succeed. Memphis is going to be playing up in pace. Going up against the Pelicans, this is a team that plays at a fast pace. Game right now only has a 5.5 point spread, so it's projected to be relatively close. I like Conley a lot here, especially at $27 on Yahoo. I think he has 45, close to 50 point upside in this matchup. Mike Conley's not really a guy I play a lot, but I feel like today I'm going to be playing him quite a bit on Yahoo, specifically at his price tag. If you want to go to him on DraftKings, I don't mind him at $7,500, but not as high of a priority as he is over on Yahoo. But we'll talk about some other point guard plays. I think De'Aaron Fox at $6,900 feels way underpriced for the upside that he brings on a nightly basis. I know he has been struggling as of late, but at $6,900, I do like De'Aaron Fox quite a bit on DraftKings. Looking at some other point guards that we could go to, there is some value I want to talk about here, specifically on Yahoo, maybe DraftKings as well, but Austin Rivers at $4,700, I don't mind on DraftKings. I like him a lot over on Yahoo, though he's still really cheap over here. Just $13. Definitely a guy I'm going to have pretty good amount of exposure to on Yahoo. Unless like some great value opens up, I expect to have a decent amount of Rivers. The guy's just playing a ton of minutes right now with Eric Gordon and Chris Paul out. Getting over 40 minutes a night from Austin Rivers. I know he's not the most productive player, especially playing alongside James Harden. But getting a guy on, especially on Yahoo at this cheap, playing 40-plus minutes a night, really hard to avoid. This game should be competitive. We should get nearly 40 minutes or more out of Rivers again. At $13 on Yahoo, like him a lot. $4,700 on DraftKings, I don't mind him either, but not as much of a priority over on DK. You do have Dennis Smith Jr. at $4,500 in a spot against the Lakers, where I do like him quite a bit. DSJ is the same price as Rivers on Yahoo, and with how DSJ has been struggling lately, with how his minutes have fluctuated, I would probably rather play Rivers, but if you do want to play both, I don't mind that. I don't mind DSJ at $4,500 on DraftKings. Feels like a really good price for him, especially in a spot against the Lakers where Dallas will be playing up in pace. Let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard now. So at shooting guard today, don't love a lot of the top options. You could go to Luka Doncic at the top. I think he'd probably be my favorite shooting guard. I do like the spot a lot for Luka Doncic. At 7,700 though, this is not a price tag that I think makes him a insanely strong play. Doncic really isn't a guy that I play a lot of, especially on big slates. But I feel like I might have some exposure to him today. Over on Yahoo, he's $33, and he's small forward eligible. I do like him quite a bit over here. Like I said, it's just a good spot against the Lakers. Dallas is going to be playing up in pace. Luka Doncic's been one of the most consistent fantasy options all year. The upside's been a little bit limited. You're not getting big ceiling games out of Doncic on a nightly basis, but very high floor play here against the Lakers. I think he does have a bit of a ceiling in this matchup as well. So if you want to go to Luka Doncic at 7,700 on DraftKings at $33 on Yahoo, don't mind him at all. But I think there is some good cheaper plays at shooting guard, specifically on DraftKings. I want to talk about Gary Harris. He's only $5K on DraftKings, and I like him a lot over here. He is expected to move into the starting lineup. It looks like Harris is going to move into the starting lineup along with Paul Millsap. So I like him quite a bit on DraftKings at $5K. We're getting solid minutes out of Gary Harris. Over on Yahoo, he's $19, not as much of a priority, but still been playing good minutes lately. The minutes have started to increase. He played 31 minutes against the Kings. Last game against the Hornets, he played 25 minutes. He was productive last game, putting up 17, 6, and 5 with a steal in those 25 minutes. I expect he moves into the starting lineup today. I expect Millsap starts as well. I expect Denver pretty much gets their normal starting lineup from the beginning of the year. So I do like Gary Harris quite a bit here. On Yahoo, where he's $19, I don't think he's as much of a priority, but on DraftKings at $5K, Gary Harris probably one of the better, cheaper options in my opinion, especially if he moves back into the starting lineup, which I think he does today. But that's probably it for shooting guard from me. Maybe some Lance Stephenson. Lance Stephenson is coming off 2 games in a row where he's seen nice minutes. He's pretty cheap on DraftKings at $4K. On Yahoo, he's minimum price at $10 at small forward. Last 2 games, we've gotten solid minutes out of Lance, 29 and 27 minutes. Kuzma has been out these past few games. If Kuzma is out again, I expect we get about 25 minutes of Lance off the bench. And at minimum price on Yahoo, I do like him quite a bit, especially since he's small forward now. Small forward is usually not the best position. It doesn't look too appealing today, so I do like Lance Stephenson as a value play at $4K on DraftKings. Minimum price on Yahoo, I think you can definitely go there. Not the worst value option. Let's go ahead and move on to small forward now. So Giannis is at the top of this position, 11,400. Facing the Jazz, not a guy I'm going to be playing a ton of today. Just don't like the spot for Giannis. Tough matchup, slow-paced Jazz team. I'd much rather would play Harden. I'd much rather play Anthony Davis. Not going to be going to Giannis today, just other studs I would rather play. Like I said earlier, small forward's pretty gross. I think a guy like Aaron Gordon is appealing at this position at 6,700 on DraftKings, especially in a good spot against the Kings. I like Aaron Gordon if you want to play him here. Looking for cheaper plays, KCP at 5,700 I don't love on DraftKings, but if he starts, he's only $14 on Yahoo. I think he is definitely in play if Kuzma misses today. KCP did move back to the bench on Sunday against the Timberwolves, but I would imagine that was for matchup issues. They probably wanted to go big against Gibson and Towns, so they started Zubac. I expect if Kuzma's out today again, then KCP moves back into the starting lineup, and we probably get about 33 to 35 minutes of KCP. So at $14 on Yahoo, I like him quite a bit. On DraftKings at 5,700, I think there are other guys I'd rather play in that price range. I'd probably would rather play Kevin Knox for just 100 more. Don't love KCP on DK. But talking about value plays here, Nemanja Bjelica I think is a really good value play on DraftKings at 4,800. Probably going to be a guy that I play a lot on DK, especially on Yahoo as well. Over on Yahoo, he's $19 at power forward. I like him as just a good value play on this slate. He's been seeing good minutes lately, especially with Marvin Bagley out. The minutes have been consistent for Bjelica. He's played over 30 minutes in 3 straight games. I expect if Bagley is out again, we're going to get 30-plus minutes from Bjelica. Very productive player. He's going to put up about a fantasy point per minute when he's out there. So if he plays 30 minutes in this matchup with the Magic, could easily get 30 fantasy points again. At $19 and 4,800 on DraftKings, Nemanja Bjelica as a value play today, I like quite a bit. But that's it for small forward, I think. You can play Lance Stephenson here, who I did touch on earlier, who I do like at 4K. Let's go ahead and move on to power forward now. So at power forward, you got AD at the top here, who I don't mind today, but I would rather play Harden. If I was playing a lot of lineups, I would definitely get exposure to AD, but it's not the most appealing spot facing a Memphis team that is solid defensively, does play at a slow pace. Marc Gasol will probably guard AD, and Gasol is a solid defender. I would just try and find the $400 to get up to James Harden. But if you're playing like 10, 20 lineups, I think spreading out your exposure, maybe going like 30, 40% Harden, then like 20% Davis, I think does make sense. I would rather play Davis over Giannis, but still Harden is the top stud on the slate for me. But looking at other power forwards we could go to, there really aren't a ton of plays that catch my eye. Maybe Noah Vonleh in a revenge game, but not really something I would go too heavy on. LaMarcus Aldridge kind of feels a little bit too cheap, but not a guy that I feel like I'm going to be playing a massive amount of. Really, power forwards are gross today. I think my favorite play here is definitely Paul Millsap, especially on DraftKings where he's 5,400. Like I said earlier with Gary Harris, Gary Harris's minutes have started to trend up. Paul Millsap's minutes have started to trend up as well. Millsap at $20 on Yahoo, I'm not a big fan of because I think I'd rather play Bjelica. But if you do want to play if you want to play Bjelica and then play Millsap, you can do that on Yahoo. On DraftKings, I like Millsap a lot though at 5,400. He feels way underpriced. His minutes are starting to trend up. I expect he moves back into the starting lineup today, and we're probably going to get 30-plus minutes out of Paul Millsap. He played 27 minutes in the last game and put up 39 fantasy points, had 18, 6, and 3 with 4 steals. Like I said, Millsap should move back into the starting lineup, should see about 30-plus minutes. At 5,400 on DraftKings, I like him quite a bit. If you want to play him on Yahoo at $20, I think he's fine over here as well. But going between Bjelica and Millsap, I probably would play Bjelica, but it is close. I do like both guys. But that's probably it for power forward. Millsap was the guy that I really wanted to touch on. Definitely one of my favorite plays here. Value-wise, there isn't a ton that I love at power forward. Maybe you take a shot on PJ Tucker just because he's going to play big minutes, but definitely not a priority today. Let's go ahead and move on to center. Quickly go over center today before we end the video. So Jokic at 10K on DraftKings. Don't mind him, but not a guy that I'm going to be playing a ton of. He does feel kind of at a good price tag. Like he's not too cheap, he's not too expensive. You want at least 55 to 60 out of Jokic if you're playing him on DK to be a good play at this price. But if you don't play Harden and Harden goes for like 70 to 80 today, which is totally possible, and Jokic only gets like 55, that probably won't be good enough. But on Yahoo, I do like Jokic quite a bit over here. He still feels pretty cheap over on Yahoo at $46. I wouldn't mind playing Jokic on Yahoo. You're getting $12 in savings going down from Davis to Jokic. Vucevic is only $6 cheaper, which I don't think is enough savings for me to want to go down to Vucevic. So if I can find a way to fit in Jokic on Yahoo, I do like doing that. But on DraftKings, it's going to be pretty hard to play Jokic today with Harden, and Harden is definitely a top priority for me on this slate. So Jokic probably a guy I wouldn't go too heavy on unless I was playing on Yahoo and I could find a way to fit him in at his price of $46. But center for me, if we're looking at this position in the mid-range, there really isn't a ton of good spots here. I think Vucevic is in a really good spot at $9,500. But that price tag is so close to Jokic where I think I'd just rather play Jokic. But it is a great spot for Vucevic. He's facing the Kings. We obviously know Kings play at a very fast pace. They have struggled all year to defend centers. But like I said, Vucevic is so closely priced to Jokic where I think I would just rather play Jokic. Kind of the same thing on Yahoo. Vucevic is only $6 cheaper, and I don't think that's enough savings for me to want to go down from Jokic to Vucevic. Would rather play Jokic. But the mid-tier, though, there's a guy I want to talk about here that I feel is way underpriced today, kind of on both sides. DeAndre Jordan at $6,100 on DraftKings, and down here at $23 on Yahoo. I like DeAndre Jordan quite a bit on both sides. It's a good spot for him. He's going to be facing a Lakers team that does play very, very fast. Up and pace spot here for Dallas. I think a lot of these Dallas guys are in good spots since they're going to be going up against the Lakers. I think Doncic definitely in play. DeAndre Jordan I like quite a bit. If you want to take a shot on Dennis Smith Jr. as a value play, I don't mind that. But DeAndre Jordan is a guy that I really like. Could easily get a double-double here. $23 on Yahoo. You want about 30 to 35 fantasy points out of him for him to be a good play at this price tag. And I think he can easily get that in this matchup with the Lakers. At $6,100 on DraftKings, I'd say you want about 35, 36 DraftKings points out of him for him to be a good play at this price. And I think that's definitely in play here against the Lakers. Could easily get a double-double, could get the double-double bonus. I know DJ's fantasy production as of late has kind of been up and down, but this definitely feels like a good spot for him where he could totally go for like 15 and 15 with a pick up a few assists, maybe get a block or two. I like DeAndre Jordan quite a bit today on both sides. But that's probably it for me at center. Talking about a few more plays though for you in the video. I do like JaVale McGee at 5,500. I think JaVale McGee is going to be forced into probably about 27, 28 minutes here. He's been playing really well without LeBron on the court. Does see a bump in usage when LeBron is off the court. He's cheap on DraftKings at 5,500. He's cheap on Yahoo over here at $18. I think he is a pretty good play if you want to go cheap at center. He's coming off a bad game Sunday against the Timberwolves where he only put up 9 fantasy points in 15 minutes. I would definitely expect a bounce-back performance out of McGee. Even in limited minutes lately, even though he's only been playing about 20 to 24 minutes, still been very productive, still been a good play at his price tag. If you get anywhere from 30-plus fantasy points out of McGee today, he's going to be a good play at $18. And I think he's kind of forced to play minutes here going up against DeAndre Jordan. They're going to need a big guy out there. I believe it was earlier this year that McGee went crazy against Dallas. He put up 20 fantasy points against them on November 30th early this year. They played October 31st, Halloween, and McGee went nuts with 16 and 15. Obviously, that was different because McGee was playing 30 minutes earlier this year, but he did play his highest amount of minutes all year against Dallas earlier this year when he played 35 minutes and put up 53 fantasy points. I wouldn't expect 35 minutes out of McGee, but I do think he reaches about 26 to 27. And if he gets that amount, he's going to be a good play at his price. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for center value plays, and I think that's it for the video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button down below. Make sure, if you have not subscribed yet, you hit that subscribe button before you get out of here. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight on this 8-game slate. We will see you in the next video. Peace.